All right, welcome to our What is Coaching call. I like to call this like a happy hour because I feel like I just really miss humans and I want a happy hour. Even though I am just drinking water this evening. So this is a call all about, what is coaching and what is the coach opportunity about? Why are you here? Jared and I are going to share a little bit about our story and how we became coaches. And then we'll get into a little bit more in terms of like what you actually do as a coach, what it looks like to be a coach, how you earn. A lot of common questions that we get, we will try to navigate through the majority of the information to give you all of the information that you need to make an informed decision on whether or not this is something that is right for you. And if you're listening to this call or you are on this call, if you're listening to the recording, obviously there's been some type of pull or interest for you to want to learn a little bit more about what coaching is. So stick with us for this call. And if you still have questions at the end of it, then you can always pop them in the chat. I'll try and make sure that I get them through the call, or you can always just reach out and say like, hey, the call was great, but I didn't get information on this part. So ask the person that sent you this call or invited you here for a little bit more information or for a little bit further of an explanation on a specific topic if we don't touch on it tonight. Okay. This is really just meant for you to be able to really start these conversations and to be able to ask more questions. So a little bit about us and kind of where we've come from. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Shalene McLeod.
I'm Jared McLeod.
And we've been married forever. We have what feels like a gazillion kids. We only have 3, but today it felt like a lot more than 3.
Sounded like a lot.
It really did.
Holy.
I was kind of worried we weren't going to have a roof today. And we have been coaches for almost 3 years now. Coming up in May, it'll be 3 years, which feels like the fastest 3 years of my life, I have to say, but also probably the most blessed 3 years of our lives. So coaching for us really kind of fell into our lap. It wasn't something that, it's too funny. Yes, my kids are very loud today. It's something that kind of fell into our lap. It was not something that I was seeking. It wasn't something that I had a drive or a passion to be a coach. I didn't go to school to be a coach. I never thought when I was younger, oh, hey, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be an online health and wellness coach. Like none of those words ever came out of my mouth. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom for the longest time. That was kind of my goal. I went to school, I went to university, I got a psych degree. I thought maybe I would dabble in teaching a little bit. He proposed, that derailed all of their school plans because we went and bought a house and I was like, let's go, let's start a family. I'm ready. Like, let's do this. And, my goal was always just to be a mom. That was really my goal for the longest time. And in doing that, we had kids fairly young.
Yeah.
And I loved being a mom. Like I was pregnant and breastfeeding for 6 years. It was on and off for literally 6 years of my life straight. And it was probably the most exhausting time ever, but we got through it. And I found myself coming out of having 3 kids and kind of like just searching in between on mat leave of like, what could I do to stay home more with these kids? Because I don't want to go back to work. Like, I do not want to go back on someone else's schedule, on someone else's time. And the more kids we started having, the more daycare kind of went through the roof as well. And I was like, I'm just going to end up working to pay for daycare. And that for me was not something that I wanted to do. If that was the case, I might as well have just stayed home with the kids. And so we had big goals and big dreams as a family. I wanted to be able to take the kids to Disney. I wanted to be able to travel with the kids. I wanted to be able to afford to put them into sports and extracurricular activities. And that's expensive when you start multiplying. No one tells you that in the beginning, but that gets expensive. And so I really found in between, as the kids were getting older and we were having more kids, it was like, okay, expenses are rising. I'm not getting an increase in pay at my corporate job. I was feeling really, really strapped and we weren't able to save for our future. And I'm like, how on earth are we going to afford to take 5 of us to Disney when I can't afford daycare? And it was this cycle that really was perpetuating for me of just, what are we going to do? And I started searching in between on every single mat leave for an opportunity that would bring me home. And I failed at every single opportunity I tried. I tried a lot of them.
I wouldn't say failed.
I thought I failed at the time.
We didn't give it the effort that it deserved.
Now I see it as stepping stones. I really do. Like, I see all my past deemed failures at the time as stepping stones that really got me to the place where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And it led us into the direction of coaching, which was completely unexpected. I had tried, other network marketing companies. I had tried startup from the ground up with my own business. And every time it didn't feel right. Like, the alignment didn't really feel there. And I really felt like I was just working for income. And whenever I found myself in this place of just like it being very transactional, of like, oh, I'm going to start a business because I want to make lots of money. And I'm going to do this because we want to, we want this trip to Disney. And I wasn't enjoying the work I was doing. I literally was only showing up to try and get a paycheck. And the misalignment that I felt with that led me to not do the work. I didn't want to show up and do the work. I found myself, it was hard. I was like dragging my feet, and not in a way where it was just uncomfortable for me and I had to learn how to do it. And I knew that I was like enjoying what I was doing, or I felt like I had a bit more of a purpose behind the work that I was putting out into the world. It really was just out of a place of like, this just feels so wrong. Like, this just isn't me. I'm literally only doing this for a paycheck. And I wanted more than that. I really wanted more than that. I wanted to feel purpose behind the work that I was putting out every single day. And I didn't know what that was, but I kept quitting on every single thing that I started. And it was really around that time that I switched out of being in an office position and I moved into an event planning position, and I started working for a corporation, and I dove in with 2 feet because all of my entrepreneurial side hustles really weren't paying off. And I thought, well, I got to go back into the corporate world and I've got to make a change. So I did. And through that, that was really the time that I started struggling a lot with my own personal body image. After my kids were starting to grow up a little bit more, we had decided we weren't having any more children. And I really was just coming to terms with my body after 3 children. And I never had conversations with girlfriends or with anyone of what that looks like or what those changes are going to look like and how that plays an effect into your own mental health and into your marriage. I started pulling back from our marriage because I was so unhappy with my body. And it was something that it was hard to talk about. And I almost felt embarrassed to talk about it. And I felt like, well, who are you to even have any of these issues? Like, get over yourself, Shalene. Like, come on, these aren't big things. But to me, they were really big things. And I just found myself hiding at the time. So here I am, I'm trying to navigate this new job. I'm trying to navigate this like hatred for my body, really, when I should be loving the journey. I should be loving where I'm at. I should be respecting this body that just gave us 3 beautiful children. And I didn't. I really wasn't in the mind frame or the mindset to be able to love myself with where I was at. And it was hard. It was hard to accept. But it was in that moment that I actually saw this couple doing a country line dance workout online on Facebook. And I am a huge country music fan, like massive country. We go to Nashville every single year. I am like, give me all the country music. And so I'm like, okay, wait a second. I'm not able to get to the gym because 3 kids out to the gym. No, thank you. It was a disaster. I wasn't happy with where I was at. I was trying to YouTube all these workout videos. It just wasn't working. And then I see country music workout. I can do it at home. It was 30 minutes. I was like, maybe this is the thing that's actually going to get me fit. Like maybe this is the thing that's going to work for me. And so I reached out to the couple, and sure enough, they were like, yeah, we're doing Beachbody. Have you ever heard of it? I'm like, yeah, we have Insanity, P90X. Like we've done all of those workouts. And they were like, it's nothing like P90X. And I'm like, thank God, because that was freaking hard. And I cannot do this right now. Like I need basic entry level kind of workouts. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. So we decided, I think I wanted this for a long time. It took me a little bit to get the guts up to ask Jer to be like, are you okay if like I invest this $200 in myself? Meanwhile, I'm going to go to Costco this weekend and probably blow $500. But I was worried about the $200 I was going to invest into my health. It was like so backwards because I was going to blow it anyways. So I went for it. And it was through my journey that I discovered coaching. It was really in this alignment of wanting more out of my career. And it was finding something that now worked for me. I found I was getting results with these country workouts. I was feeling good about myself. I was finding confidence again. I was leaning back into my marriage instead of pulling away from it. I was really showing up for my kids and showing them a healthy lifestyle. And that felt good. Like that felt so good to see them want to work out with me and to see them, really excited about wanting to go for walks even and wanting to like just be active and teaching them how to live an active, healthy lifestyle. Up until that point, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't showing them or showcasing any of that. I wasn't being that role model for them. And it felt really good to finally step into that version of myself. And it was through my journey of kind of finding myself where Jer ended up suffering an injury at work. And this is where things totally flipped for us. This is really where coaching kind of came into play for us.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what happened at work?
Yeah, sure. So this is definitely not a direction that I saw my life going. I did not expect myself to be a health and wellness coach. Don't get me wrong. I love coaching. I'm a football coach by nature. I've been coaching football for 20 years. I can pour belief into somebody and I can teach them certain tasks. Being a health coach was not on my radar, not somewhere I ever saw myself going. But I was involved in an incident at work where I ended up getting hit in the head, and I suffered a really bad concussion. And it kept me off work for a very long time. I was off work for almost 2 years. And it was probably the worst experience of my entire life. I would not say probably, it was the worst experience of my entire life. But it also brought so much good. And it's so hard to consider it the worst thing that's ever happened to me when it brought so much good. So it's almost the best thing that's ever happened to me. And that's weird to say because I would never want anyone to experience what I experienced. But had it not been for that injury, I'm not sure we would have ever ventured down this road together. Yeah. You may have found it eventually. Yeah. I don't think I ever would have. Yeah. And it was a life changer for me. It completely saved like the community, the workouts, getting my life back on track, completely saved my life. So when I got injured, I couldn't do anything. I could barely tie my own shoes. I was a complete mess. I suffered from depression, anxiety, every symptom that you can think of for a concussion with headaches. I was completely out of commission. And Shalene started to notice that I was kind of spiraling down the drain pretty quick. And she was already doing these home workouts. I was a gym rat. I was in the gym all the time. Not that I was getting results. I actually didn't start getting results until I started doing these home workouts. But Shalene invited me to join her in a workout because she knew if she could just get my body moving, that maybe it would help change my mindset and kind of help dig my way out of this depression and anxiety that I was going through. And she invited me to do a workout. And of course I said, yes, I would try it. I didn't expect it to go anywhere. I honestly just did it to please her because she was asking me to.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, but it was one of those circumstances where I did not last long. We were doing a program called 80-Day Obsession, and I lasted about 7 minutes or so in that workout. And then I had to stop because I was so symptomatic that I was just in too much pain. I couldn't go any further. But it was also the first time in months that I ever felt that sense of accomplishment. And it kept me kind of going back day after day, trying to beat my time. It gave me something to push forward to, something to look forward to. Not to mention the community we were connected with, much like one that we've created. And, it just kind of kept me going back every day for, trying to beat that time more and more. And it eventually led to Shalene being asked to start coaching. They saw something in her. And when it was brought up to us, we kind of shut it down a couple of times because we had ventured down entrepreneurial roads many times in the past. And we kept saying, well, I don't think we're ready for that. Or like, we've done that before, like, it's not going to work. But something inside her, and I'll let you comment to this, something inside Shalene was like really telling her that this was something that she really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And being a husband, who am I to say no? Like,
it was scary. I felt this tug on my heart, and I felt like these whispers. It was always in the back of my mind. Like, my coach invited me to coaching, and I said, no. For 8 months, I said no. And it still was there though. Like, I was still thinking about it, even though I said no to her. And she would invite me all the time. She's like, check out this call, come look at this. What about this? I think you'd be great here. And I was just like, when you've had those, what you deem as failures in the past, it's hard to put yourself out there again. But I think a lot comes down to the fact that, we all have a hard season, and we all go through really, really challenging things in our lives. And it's almost at our lowest moment when something so unexpected comes into our lives, and we want so desperately to push it away because we just want to, you're just not there. And you're like, no, I'm in the hard season. I can't start anything new. I can't dive into that. I can't go into that right now. And that voice of doubt and fear is just playing in your head over and over and over again. But it's in that moment that it's the sign of the thing that is saying, this is what you need to help pull you out of this dark season. And we resisted it for the longest time. And when I finally stopped resisting it and I said, you know what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? I'm going to do this. Let's become coaches. Let's see where this takes us. And if at the end of the day, it's not for us, oh, well, what's the harm? We helped a couple people reach their health and wellness goals. Cool. That's not hurting anybody, right? That's only helping a couple people along the way. And if I decide I don't love it, whatever. And it was really in that, we were in our darkest season. I could see the change happening in Jer, and he was almost like my test. I feel like he was almost like my first test client because I really could see the community. We plugged ourselves into a challenge group, much like I know many of you are a part of challenge groups. Some of you are brand new to this and you've never been a part of a challenge group, but a lot of you have been a part of a challenge group. And it was our challenge group that led us to want to lean in more. And we felt like we were just surrounded by such incredible, like-minded individuals that it inspired us to want to show up for ourselves even more. And when I saw the change happening in Jer, and I could see him slowly climbing out of depression and having those moments of that anxiety was dissipating, if only for 20 minutes a day, it was still 20 minutes a day where he was feeling really great about himself, and I could see my confidence coming back. I could see my self-love coming back. And then you saw everyone else in the challenge group kind of feeling the same. And I was like, that would feel freaking cool to run my own community and to be able to lead that and to help other women through motherhood be able to find themselves again. It can be really lonely going through motherhood. And I know we have this, even the term motherhood, it's we all band together, but it really can be a lonely place. And for me, I was seeking that friendship. I was seeking that community, and I was finding purpose in helping other people reach their goals. And that was the alignment I had been searching for so long. This was the thing that finally I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. This feels so good. And like, we honestly haven't looked back since we started coaching. We decided, yes, we have had ups and downs in our business. We have had moments of doubt and we've been super uncomfortable and we were pushing limits like you wouldn't believe. But it truly has been the greatest blessing for our family to be able to fulfill all the goals that we had.
Yeah.
I was able to leave the corporate career and be able to be home with the kids. And we're able to grab that trip to Disney that we wanted to go on. We worked really, really hard to achieve some really incredible goals. And we use this business as a vehicle to help us get there. This has been honestly such a blessing for us. And now we just want to turn around and be able to return that favor to other people to say, where are you at? And what are you struggling with? And in what way could this be the vehicle for you to help you with where you're at? Because your goals are different than ours, right? Your dreams are different than ours. The things that you guys want out of a challenge group, even for your own personal health and wellness goals, are different than what we were looking for. On the business side of things, that's different than what we were looking for as well. But I know that this can be a vehicle that can help lead you and open up so many doors and the connections and the network, the possibilities when you open up to the coaching opportunity are endless.
Yeah.
And so enough about us. I want to get into like actually what coaching is all about. Besides, for me, the whole like ins and outs of coaching, for me, it really is about like finding that purpose and just feeling that drive to want to help people live a healthier lifestyle. It's so fulfilling and it's so rewarding to get messages from our clients and to get messages from other coaches on the team who some of them are right here on this call right now with us, to get messages from them to see how this has impacted their lives and how it's changed their lives. It really is such a rewarding job. If you want to call it a job, I don't consider it a job. But it really is just so rewarding and so fulfilling that if that's something that aligns with you, and if you're the type of person who like, you just really enjoy helping other people, this would be a really great opportunity to align with that feeling of wanting to help other people. We have a ton of teachers, a ton of nurses, a ton of like first responders, lots of moms who join our teams because at your core, you really are helpers, and you want to make an impact in this world. And that's what coaching can totally bring for you.
And for me, it was like I said before, like I never saw my life going in this direction. But I'm grateful every day that it did because I'm a police officer and I wanted to be a police officer ever since I was a little kid, and it's my dream job and I've been living it. But when I first started coaching Micheline, I was just doing little tasks for her, kind of just being helpful as I was recovering through my concussion. And she was giving me little tasks to kind of help keep me occupied through the day, so I wasn't just sitting in a corner. And I absolutely fell in love with this business, and I get more satisfaction and more gratitude out of this business than I do in policing. And I never thought that I would ever say I wanted to leave policing because I love it and I love what it stands for. But this business is so much more to me.
Yeah, it really has changed our outlook on a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to share my screen really quick. Can you guys see that okay? Awesome. So a little bit more into, what coaching is really about. That's a little bit about our story. And I hope that you can see yourself in our story. I hope that you can see a little bit of an alignment of where you're at in your life. And I think it's just really important to know at the end of the day, we're all human, right? Yeah. And we're all struggling and we all have hard seasons. And it's important for us on our team, especially, to make that connection. Like our team name is Fam Jam. The person who invited you to this call, they have their own team name. Like we are all collectively just a family. And I think for us, it really is about making sure that we can connect with you and where you're at to see if this is the right thing for you, So diving into what we are not as coaches, we talked a lot about what we are. First and foremost, we share. We are not experts in this business. Like I said, I didn't go to school for fitness. I didn't go to school for nutrition. Not saying that you can't, because we have some incredible trainers and physiotherapists, RMTs. We have a lot of people in different fields on our team, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be an expert in any of that. We're not salespeople. Didn't go to school for any training for that either. We don't need to know everything. We don't have to have a degree. We don't need a certification. We don't have to have perfect bodies. And we definitely don't have to be at our goal weight. I say that because I hear this so much of, I can't be a coach because I'm not where I want to be. And that couldn't be more backwards in this business. Maybe that's true for some other professions within the industry, but not for us. No. This is about a lifestyle. This is about sharing your journey. This is about taking people on the journey with you and inspiring them along the way to live a healthier lifestyle. It's not about, oh, I'm going to get there, and then once I get there, I'm going to turn around, because we don't ever really reach the goal. We don't. There's no final like line where it's like all of a sudden you've arrived. Here's your perfect life. Here's your perfect body. Like, that never happens. We're always chasing growth. And if we're always chasing growth, then it means you're exactly where you need to be right now in order to help inspire somebody else along the way, because you're chasing that next level of you, whatever that might look like.
And when we first started this, I was 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So throughout this journey of coaching and this business, I ended up losing 40 pounds, which connected with a ton of people on it. It made it real. It made people believe that if I could do it, then so could they, because they totally can.
Yeah, for sure. You know, our team goal is really to help people live their best life. And this is something where, you know, you get all of us. When you join anybody on this team, we really are a family. And when I say that, it is in a way to let you know that you have support and you're joining a community. It's not about, you know, just deciding to become a coach and all of a sudden no one talks to you ever again. That's not what happens on this team. We really are a family together, and we support you, and we basically become your new besties. And we're here to help you chase those big goals and those dreams. You know, we really want people to embrace this lifestyle and be able to feel confident and empowered in what they're doing every single day. Mm-hmm. A day in the life of a coach. We're going to talk a little bit about the activities of what it looks like to be a coach specifically. And we can really break it down into these three categories about self-love, share the love, and then spread the love. For us, it's you first. Self-love, you first. It really is about putting you first on your journey. And this does not work. Coaching does not work if you are not all in on your own journey. And it really comes down to going all in with a fitness program with where you're at. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to be doing the hardest workouts like P90X, because remember what I said in the beginning, there was no way I was going to become a coach if I had to do P90X. That was not happening. It's about where are you at right now, you know, and what's that next step for you? And how can you use the programs and products that we have to help you get to that next step? Then it's about sharing that and inspiring other people. This is the key. If you were to come into coaching, and like, no offense to anyone who's coming into coaching like this, but if you come into coaching like six-pack ripped, you're there, you've been working out forever, it is harder for you. And I'm just going to be 100% honest. It is harder for you to share your journey because it's not as relatable. And this, like I said, we're not experts in anything. As coaches, we're just sharing what's working for us. And that means that it's about taking people on that journey with you and sharing your life online. We then really spread that word to other people, and we ask them to join us in a challenge group. You're going to have a challenge group that you run, and you're going to have a community that you're running, and you're going to invite people to come join you in your community that you're building to help them reach their health and wellness goals. And it's those three things that really drive all of our actions as a coach. Moving into more of like what our actual daily tasks and daily behaviors look like, you will get a copy of a checklist. If you're a checklist person and you like to check the things off on the boxes, this will be perfect for you. But we really guide our coaches, and we give you exactly what you need to do every single day so that you know what you're doing today and how you're showing up today is going to lead to the results that you're looking for in the end, because that can be hard. And I know I've started businesses in the past, and you're kind of all over the place. You're like, do I need a website? Do I need this? Maybe I need this. I need to like, I need an office. I need like all the things. I need a ring light, all the things. And it's honestly not about any of that. It really can be hard when you are trying to navigate this world of being an entrepreneur and having your own business and trying to figure out, what do I have to do every day? Like, I don't even know if what I'm doing for this first month of setting up my business is actually going to get me any results. And we have this checklist for you so that you know that you can just be showing up every single day, and you can be putting in the work and doing these activities. And that is what has led to success for other coaches in the past. This is what has led to success for us and other coaches on this team. And so we help teach you guys exactly how to do all of this. This includes social media. Yes, we teach you how to do social media as well. We have training on literally everything that we ask of you in this business. We have training for that. Your daily task, like I said, really becomes about sharing your journey. This is the number one thing. We never want people to, join our team and decide that you want to be a coach, and then all of a sudden online, you're only a coach. It really is sharing your journey, your struggles. And it's not about sharing Beachbody products. It's a lifestyle. And that's what I loved so much about the coaching opportunity. It aligned so beautifully with finding that purpose and passion, and not having it be about that transaction, right? Like I was talking about in other businesses I've been a part of, it's really just been about, here's my product, want my product? Okay, great, go buy it. Awesome. Next. And that's not what this is at all. And this is really cool for me because I haven't been a part of a business that has had this kind of setup before. So this really becomes about sharing your journey and not just about Beachbody products. These are 3 feeds actually from, one is my feed, one is from a coach on our team, Becca, and Shorty, who's on the call tonight. I think Becca was on here too. And this is really just our lives, and we're sharing the healthy lifestyle and what it looks like to be using the programs and products, but it really is in a way of just sharing who we really are and the person that we want to help. So on our team, we provide, like I said, we have lots of training that we provide for you. We do training calls with you will do training calls with your individual coach, whether it's us or somebody else on the team. We have chat groups. So when you are a new coach, you actually get added into like a little chat pod on Facebook. And that chat pod is a place where you can ask questions. Like I said, you're not going to be alone in this unless you choose to be, unless you choose to I don't want to engage in absolutely anything in starting your business. You have access to so many incredible leaders on this team who come from different backgrounds, who have different lifestyles. Some of us are stay-at-home moms. Some of us are full-time working out of the house. Some of us are, you're running your own business within the house, and this is something that's secondary to that. There's a lot of different backgrounds and experience and skills that we all pull from, and you have access to all of that. You get a new coach handbook. It looks something like this. We have a new coach training. So all the information you need to know is in here. And we really do strive to set you up for success within your first month of coaching. We have, like I said, social media training. We have a Google Drive that has a ton of resources for you. Ultimately, though, it really comes down to the support and the community. almost anything you can Google these days. And so the information, the resources, the training, yes, we have all of that for you, but it really does come down to the support in the community. And our team, I have to say, they're absolutely incredible. So how do you earn? Question we get all the time. So what do I do as a coach? You run challenge groups, you help people live a healthier lifestyle. What does that look like? And then the next question is always, well, how do you actually earn from being a coach? Anytime that you are helping someone get started on their health and wellness journey, they're starting with a challenge pack, or they're starting with the workouts, Beachbody On Demand. And depending on what it is, you're actually earning a commission off any time somebody is choosing to join into your challenge group and purchasing something from our websites. And so you're earning a 20 to 40% commission off of those purchases, depends on what it is, which is a really high commission rate, if I can say so myself, compared to some of the other things that I have seen, compensation plans that I've seen in the past, or even just like a basic sales. If you're talking about commission, 20 to 40% is an incredible rate to be receiving off of the commission of retail sales. The second way that you're going to earn is really more of like a residual income. Do you want to chat about that?
Yeah, sure. So the way the residual income works is it's called a team cycle bonus. And that is pretty much getting a bonus paid from the growth of your team. So as you grow a team in this company, Beachbody looks and says, hey, Danielle's team is doing really well. Let's pay Danielle a weekly bonus this year based on how much volume the team has created. So generating sales will create volume. Beachbody looks at that volume and you end up getting a paycheck for that, for what your team does, not for what you specifically do. So it's based on what your team does. So say you were on vacation with your family and your team is still working, that residual income is still coming in.
There's additional team bonuses as well, but we won't get into those because they're not going to make any sense anyways. But the compensation plan is a really, really great compensation plan. And if you want to learn more in depth about the compensation plan, there's some videos that we can send you guys if you want to learn a little bit more.
And you'll learn it as you go. I mean, especially when you start going through the training, there's specific training on compensation. Yeah. But this is just kind of a basic rundown.
Yeah. And one thing that I didn't mention, I'll just go back for a hot second, is when we were talking about the daily tasks and the daily behaviors, I know that we had a couple of questions last time we did a call like this about, how much time does this take? That was a really big question for a lot of people. And this is something that I feel like you really have the opportunity to put as much time or as little time into this business as you choose. It's not about us being your boss. It's not about us saying you have to clock in for a certain number of hours. We don't do that. It's really about what do you want? And
what works in your life.
Yeah. I think time spent in this business and how much time it's going to take comes down to the goals that you have. And that's almost an individual conversation about, well, what are your goals? Is this the thing that you want to be the only thing you do in your life and you don't want to have a corporate career? Do you just want to pay for groceries every single week? Do you just want to help a couple people? It's not even about income. It really just comes down to, I want to help 3 people this month join my challenge group and feel better about themselves. This comes down to, what is your goal based off of, okay, we can give you a realistic expectation of how much work you need to put in every single day in order to achieve that goal. Mm-hmm. On average, I'm going to say it's putting in 2 hours of work a day. In order to have any type of results that most people are looking for, you're looking at about a minimum of 2 hours a day putting into your coaching business. Now, that will flex, right? Maybe you got more time on weekends. Maybe you have more time in different seasons. Maybe you have busier seasons at work. And so those seasons are going to be less time on your business, but then you're going to put more time in when that busy season at work is over. There's ebbs and flows, and like everything in life, but I really do think that this is dependent on the goals that you have. So we can have more of that conversation of time spent in business based on your specific goals for where you want this to take you.
Yeah, and the possibilities are endless with this company. And I think this is a good opportunity to do the income disclaimer, where like Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of income. It is solely based on the independent coach's efforts, skills, and abilities. So, and you mean we can drop the the link into the full income disclaimer in the chat of this
I was
group.
just gonna say, I'm glad you're here because I don't know that off by heart.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this is definitely not a get rich quick, but the possibilities are there.
For sure.
And it just takes work. And if you're willing to put the time and effort in, like we've said before in our story, like this has been a game changer for us.
100%. And one day, eventually, we will be able to travel again. There are lots of opportunities within the business to earn towards trips, to have the opportunity to participate in retreats that are happening. There's usually quarterly events that we get to participate in with our teams. And I'm really hoping one day soon we'll be able to get back to those because I really miss them. These are some of the trips that we actually have been a part of in the past and some of the retreats that we have been on. And I honestly, it is the craziest feeling to be a part of a community that is online. We were Zooming long before Zooming was cool. And this honestly is like, you build such cool connections with people and you meet them in person for the first time. And like, you can actually see in the top right-hand corner, I'm wearing the same shirt. I think I was last time too. I met with Danielle. We're in Canada. Danielle's in California. And it was the first time we met. And it was so surreal because I was like, you're like actually human, but I already know who you are.
Yeah.
Like you're so connected with people and yet you get to meet them for the first time in person. And it is such a cool feeling to just know
you almost forget that you've never met them.
You do, but to have this like tribe, I've never been a part of a community and a tribe that just literally wants to see you succeed. I've never been a part of something that is so empowering. And I mean, you get this many women together and it's like, I mean, I would have cringed at this in high school, to be quite honest with you, because I was not the girl who had a ton of girlfriends. I didn't know what that looked like. It looked like drama to me all the time. That's all I saw in girlfriends growing up. And I've never been around so many women who just want to see you succeed and want to empower you to be the best version of you. And I mean, not to discount the guys because we do have guys on the team, but I think that is a really big thing for women. It is pretty incredible
to see because you, especially in a business like this, you do see the how do you word it? I guess like the body shaming that women go through, and to see everybody band together, like honestly, as a guy, I think it's absolutely incredible to see. It's so powerful.
You've seen both sides of it for me. So it's pretty cool. And again, like we really want to leave you guys with, if you're willing to put in the work daily and set those big goals, we really believe there's nothing that you can't do. And this has been just such an incredible vehicle for our family and our lives and so many other people on the team that's why we invited you here. We see something in you. The person who invited you onto this call sees something in you and probably has more belief that you're able to be a coach than you do right now. I know I doubted my abilities to be a coach for a really long time. I felt those tugs and I felt that pull and the attraction to coaching. I didn't quite know what it was. And I really tried to diminish that for a long time because I didn't believe I was going to be good at it. I was going off of what happened in the past. I was going off of my feeling of not feeling good enough as a mom, of not feeling confident enough in my current body image to put myself out there on social media, to take a picture of just me and not my kids. I was like, what? I do not want to do that. It was the idea of having to push so far out of my comfort zone of where I was at that moment that held me back and kept me small. But I knew that if I wanted to change, something had to change. And I was going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. And we didn't pick a better place. We couldn't have picked a better place to take off that mask and be able to just be you. We really embrace the be you, do you, show up as you are. And that's so cool to be able to just show up as you are and build a cool business. So getting started on our team. Again, this is going to depend on kind of where you're at, because I know a lot of you are already current challengers. You are in our challenge group. Some of you are already set up as VIP members and discount coaches. And so it really depends on kind of where you're at and how you're set up with your current coach, or if you're brand new to this journey. So you can reach out to the person that invited you to this call to make sure that you are completely set up with what you need. But at the end of the day, it's about you first. So it's about you grabbing your challenge pack so that you have the workouts and the nutrition programs, and you are plugged into a community, a challenge group, so that you're putting you first. We have said this a million times on this call, but it is about you first. So that's where we start with coaching as well. And then we really get you started and plugged into our new coach training. We get you plugged into our pods. You will get the new coach handbook. And this really is something that you get so much support and community when you decide to jump in. We do have new training happening at the beginning of every month. So we actually have our training starting on March 1st, which is Monday. So there's no better time than now. If this is something that has been on your heart, to dive in, we have everything lined up for you. Monday night, we can do another call with you to get you set up in your coaching business. And then for 2 weeks, we will really navigate through how you get started and what this looks like. So I encourage you to reach out to the person that invited you to this call. Let them know where you're at. Ask questions. If you have more questions, let's keep the lines of communication open. There's so much more that we could share on this, but we don't want to keep you on this call any longer. So if you have questions, ask them. If you're ready to go, just reply back to them and say, I'm in. Let's do this. What do we need to do? And I hope that we will see most of you on our call on Monday night in our new coach training. Thanks so much, you guys. I hope you have a great night.
See you guys.
See ya.